Hello, Rob from Fountain Pen Journey with a review of the Lamy ABC fountain pen. Now, as you know, if you subscribe to my channel, I love Lamy fountain pens. I just do. All of them pretty much are excellent pens. The nibs can be a bit hit and miss, but easily adjustable. So I was interested to see what this pen was actually like to write with, because I needed to add one to my collection, because I thought, well, you know, it's quite a unique fountain pen made out of maple wood, and it just looked interesting. It was never going to be a pen that I was going to write with a lot, I thought, but using the Lamy Safari, Lamy All-Star, Lamy Studio and all the rest of those Lamy pens that I love, this pen I bought, it was, I don't know, new old stock, unused, slightly beat up box, and I thought I'll just add this to my collection. And I actually decided that I really wanted to actually write with this pen, so I gave it a go, and I've been writing with this pen for about a week, and it's a surprise. It really is a surprise. First off, the Lamy ABC fountain pen is aimed at children. You go to the Lamy website and it clearly states, you know, this is a beginner's fountain pen aimed at children to get them to used to writing with a fountain pen writing instrument. It is available as a mechanical pencil as well, very similar in style, with the idea being that the mechanical pencil is what children start to write with, and then they progress onto the Lamy ABC fountain pen. And as far as I'm aware, in Germany these pens are literally issued as school writing instruments, and it's the pen that children learn to write with over there. Don't quote me on that, but there we go. So this is what you get. It is available in two different colours. There's this red version with the red plastic cap and finial, and that also comes in a blue version as well. And it comes in this this box, and it's got fountain pen for beginners in German and English, and yeah, various languages. Back of the box, easy way to learn, easy way of learning to write, Lamy ABC. And here you can see that these pens do come with a Lamy T10 blue cartridge. So the cartridges are proprietary Lamy cartridges, but they're the same ones that fit the Lamy Safari and all the rest of those pens. So let's get it out of the box. Also in the box there is this separate little compartment under here, and in here we have got some folded instructions which detail about the Lamy ABC in various languages. So yeah, chunky convenient grip. Yeah, so it shows you how to unscrew the barrel of the pen, insert the Lamy T10 or the Lamy Z24, Z28 converter. So it will take cartridges or converters, both of which are the proprietary Lamy filling systems. And on the back there is also dual instructions for the mechanical pencil version. And as you can see, very similar in design but minus the cap. And you turn the finial to propel the lead from the pencil. Now, what else is there? Right, you can see here there are some instructions, and these different coloured things are labels. There's 5 of them in total, and the idea being that you write your name or your child's name on these labels. You can also pop them in these little circles on here, and on the cap there is this recess here, and you literally just stick the label in there, and there is a clear cover that you peel off and apply over the top of that label, so it becomes pretty much waterproof. So let's just get these bits out of the way and look at the pen. Now, my first impressions probably 2 years ago when I bought this pen were, I'm never going to use this to write with. It's not for me. It's a school pen. It just happens to be a Lamy pen to add to my collection, which I got for quite a good price. And admittedly, this pen retails as at £14 here in the UK, and on the Lamy website it appears to be €14. Whether school children in Germany pay that for these pens seems a bit unclear, because I would have said that £14 for a pen for a child is pretty steep, but I'll put that one aside. So, I mean, my first impression was it isn't the most attractive design. You've got a plastic cap, plastic finial down here, available, as I say, in also a blue colour, dark blue colour. And the cap has got the Lamy logo up here, slightly flat end, and there's not a lot about it. There's no clip, and there's no lanyard ring or anything, so you can't hang this pen anywhere, unlike some of the school pens that I have seen from companies like Schaefer in the past. And the cap's round with this flat facet and the recess where the child's name goes in. Obviously not decided to put my own name on there. And this plastic finial at the end where it has this recess on the top where you can put the other round label and the child's initials up there. That just sticks on there. And I always assumed that this thing would be something more functional. I don't really know what it is, but it is a roll stop. So that focus, there we go. So this whole thing works as a roll stop. So the pen, even though it's round, doesn't roll around. And I quite like the design of the pen now. After I've been writing with it for about a week, I really do quite appreciate it. I'll talk about the dimensions and everything shortly. Cap pops off. Doesn't post, so there you go. There is a liner in there and nothing else. There's no hole in this, so it isn't like a lot of pens that you see which have been manufactured with a hole in case you swallow the cap. It still allows you to breathe somewhat. It doesn't have that feature. Rubberized red, in this case, grip section, and this is grippy. This is really, really grippy. I mean, your fingers literally stick to this and your fingers are not going to slip. So even if you're a child and you've got greasy fingers from eating a bag of crisps or something, this grip section is really, really grippy. It's really comfortable. The nib is a stainless steel nib. As you can see, it's not as polished as you would find on the Lamy Safari, but it is the winged style Lamy nib with a black plastic feed underneath. And the nibs are a bit strange on these Lamy ABC fountain pens. There's not a lot of anything going on there, and the nibs come in two versions. A, which is this nib, which is, from what I can tell, it's a Lamy medium nib. Doesn't seem to be anything else. It's like a sort of budget version of the Lamy nib, and it's medium. So that's all I can say. It's also available in a left-handed version. So A, which is a medium, and I'm guessing the left-handed version is also a medium as well. The barrel unscrews, and as you can see, Lamy T10 blue cartridge installed, and it screws on quite well. I mean, the threads in there, red plastic threads in there, and it's really useful because when you insert this cartridge, as with some of the other Lamy fountain pens like the Safari, you can insert it all the way yourself by pushing it in, or you can screw the barrel on and it punctures the ink cartridge, forces it down into the section to the exact right level. So really, really well designed. I don't know if you could eyedrop it that. I personally wouldn't do it for reasons that I'll get onto in a minute. You will notice that there are these notches on either side of the section to hold the converter in place as well. So Lamy's proprietary filling system. Talk about the barrel. As you can see, it is wood, maple wood, and it's really nice. I mean, it's smooth. There's no splinters, obviously, or anything like that. Really, really nice wood, polished but completely untreated. So this is going back to what I said about the converter, eyedropper converting this pen. Not recommended. I don't know whether it would be seal inside this barrel or not. I'm suspecting possibly not, but this wood is untreated and it will absorb ink. So any ink spills, any inky fingers, this wood will absorb the ink and stain. So you could put some sort of wax or lacquer or some sort of wood sealant on there to help prevent that, but other than that, bear in mind it's wood. Wood gets stained by fountain pen ink really easily, and you can't do a lot about it. So let's look at the size of this pen compared to, let me see, have I got my, it's over there. Bear with me a moment. Right, I have got my Lamy All-Star Special Edition Tourmaline. As you can see, capped, there really isn't a great deal of difference in the length of these two pens. The All-Star, or even the Lamy Safari, because they're identical in dimensions, is maybe just about a centimetre longer capped. Uncapped, these two pens side by side, about a centimetre shorter. So it's, you know, this is not a tiny pen. The Lamy ABC is not some mini pen for mini hands. And I'd say that my hands are average to large, maybe, size 9. And you can see that this pen is, you know, it's decently sized. Lamy All-Star, Lamy ABC. So I'll uncap this. And okay, it doesn't post, but you know, that is a really nicely sized pen. There are many pens aimed at adults which just simply, you know, they're simply shorter than that, unposted. And the section, you know, this section, okay, it's got this Lamy style triangular grip. It isn't triangular. You've got two concave facets, and it's round underneath. So if you don't like that type of thing, but they're not, it's not as extreme as on the Lamy Safari, which is a true triangular flat faceted grip. On the All-Star, you see it's round underneath with the two flat facets on here, which force your fingers into this tripod grip. The Lamy ABC aims to have the same purpose, to get children to hold their pens properly, if you like. I know not everybody holds their pens in a tripod grip, but it's not as extreme. It's much more comfortable. The section is, as you can see, quite a bit shorter than the Safari and the All-Star, but I mean, this has just got lots of space. This has much less space, but it's really comfortable. There is barely any step up to the wooden barrel, and it's really smooth. It's rounded. It's lovely, really well made. So what do I think of the pen? Well, before I get onto the writing sample, I really wasn't sure if I was going to be liking this pen to write with. I thought I should try it, see what it's like. I've been writing with it for a week, and quite honestly, I'm really becoming quite attached to this design. To me, it has a Scandinavian design aesthetic. If this pen was sold in IKEA, I'd probably buy one and go, oh, it's an IKEA fountain pen, how wonderful, not thinking anything of it being aimed at children. But I find it really, really nice to hold, and it's really attractive. I don't sort of think too much about this red bubble finial at the end, but it's a nicely designed pen, and it's really comfortable. The grip section is very grippy, rubberized, and really, really quite nice. And the wooden barrel is comfortable and warm, and it's altogether just a really comfortable to hold fountain pen. I'll just do a weight check for you, because I don't normally do these in my pen reviews unless there's something significant, but it was something that I'd like to do with this pen. So all up, 14 grams capped with an ink cartridge. Uncapped, 10.4 grams. So it's not a heavy pen, but it's not, not so light that it's stupidly lightweight. So I'm actually really impressed with this pen. So let's do the writing sample now. And you'll see what I mean about this being a typical Lamy nib. Trying to write over the camera. And the nib is A. So stainless steel A nib, which is, in my view, a medium Lamy nib. Let's get on with this. So the quick brown fox. And it writes perfectly well. It's as good as any of the good Lamy Safari All-Star nibs that I've used. It isn't some cheap version, and I mean, to be honest, if I was going to buy a fountain pen for a child, this is actually a very good starting point. As you can see, it writes perfectly well. It's medium wetness, I'd have said, medium to wet, and it lays down ink really, really, really well. Keeps up, no hard starts. You can leave this thing capped for a good day or two. No issues with it hard starting. Reverse writing is possible, and it's extra fine. It's not terribly pleasant, tiny bit scratchy, but with no pressure, it's possible to go from medium, just do that, medium down to an extra fine. So altogether, would I recommend this pen for somebody who wanted a wooden, comfortable, ergonomic fountain pen? Yes, absolutely I would. It's not just a child's pen. It's not a pen that I'd be using in the office on a daily basis, but I'm really, really quite surprised at how nice this pen is to write with. I mean, you want people, you want children to have an enjoyable writing experience when they start using a fountain pen. I mean, this pen writes with no pressure whatsoever. I'm not even going to try and squeeze much out of this, because this is a stiff nib, but you can squeeze a tiny amount of extra ink out. Not a lot, but it's possible. So I've really grown to quite like this pen. I mean, I know that I'm never going to stop liking my Lamy Safaris and All-Stars, but this is a really, really good pen. It's certainly one that I think children would be very comfortable writing with. If you teach them, don't press down on the nib and things like that. And it's really grippy. I mean, it's really, really comfortable in the hand. and it does a great job. So it serves its purpose really, really well. So there we go, Lamy ABC fountain pen. Let me know what your thoughts are about this, because quite honestly, I was really surprised. I actually really have grown to like this fountain pen. It's a nice, comfortable pen to hold. It's a nice writer. There's not much more you can really say. It does exactly what you want, and it writes far better than more expensive fountain pens. So I'm really happy with it. Let me know in your comments down below, please, if this is something that you've overlooked and you're going to consider trying out after seeing my review. So thanks very much for watching, and I shall see you next time. Bye.